setting your consulting rate in your own business consulting business. This is one of the trickiest things. When you start out, you don't want to charge too little, people take advantage of your time. You don't want to charge too much and never get your business consulting firm started. So setting your rate can be really tricky. Here's some tips and strategies that I've learned while consulting myself for consulting firms as well as in my own business consulting firm. First, you have to consider whether travel is part of your consulting business model. Either you don't travel, or you should seriously consider charging 1/3 or 1/4 time for your travel. You should charge something, or your time might be taken advantage of, and you could spend 40 hours of a week, literally, traveling, and only 10 hours consulting. And you might kind of kick yourself for that later on. Charge something for travel, even if it's only 1/5 your rate. I would encourage you to charge something. The really experienced consultants I know charge 1/3 or 1/2 their rate, and that encourages their clients to have phone meetings, web meetings, webinars, conference calls, or just not meet in person as often at all. And you want to meet in person with your clients sometimes, especially while you're winning over a client, but who wants to travel all the time and not get paid for it? Second tip is consider whether you have various different rates for your different business lines. For different levels of service, you may be able to use an outside resource, you may be able to outsource some of the work, you may be able to use an assistant or an intern. So consider what lines of work warrant a higher hourly rate than other types. Do you enjoy a certain type of work more? Maybe you should charge a little bit less for that and charge a lot of money for the type of work you don't really like. That way you're actually getting paid more for the work you don't like. Maybe it's good for the business to do the work, but it's not very enjoyable. Another tip is to figure out what rate you're going to pay for consultants who join your team. Even if it's just yourself now, it's very likely that at some point you'll have someone working for you part-time within your consulting firm, if not full-time. So it's good to think about this early on and evolve your ideas about how much is a fair amount to pay someone. If you're billing them out at $150 an hour, are you going to pay them $70, $80, $90, $100 an hour? What's the industry rate if they went out and worked for themselves? What could they easily get? And then how can you be more competitive than that and offer company benefits and security and everything else? My tip would be to never offer less than 50%. If you really want to keep the person long term, I would suggest letting them keep 55 to 60%, if not 70%. 70 or 80%, you'll probably have a very loyal employee because you're doing a lot of the work, the marketing. If they're a W-2 employee, there's those tax benefits if you help them out with the taxes, maybe health benefits. So the more competitive the industry is, you might lose someone, or the more valuable they are, the more experienced they are, then probably the higher percentage of that consulting rate you should give them. Another tip here is to budget your month on working 15 to 20 billable hours per month. It's going to change on your industry, level of experience, and marketing skills, but if you budget around working, say, 17 hours a month on the clock, then you can come up with a rate that's going to make it livable, so your company can make good money while you still have time to work on the business. And that brings me to the next point, that if you're the principal of the consulting firm, you might be all by yourself now, but as your company grows, it's going to be tempting to work inside of projects full time, when really you should be working on your business at least half the time, if not most of the time. And on the business means you're out there meeting with potential clients, you're doing marketing for your consulting firm, you're documenting the business processes within your business consulting firm, you're improving your website, you're meeting with other business consulting experts and trying to navigate where your firm should go next, what new service lines to offer, who to hire, who to interview. All of that work needs to be done by you, and if you're working in projects all the time, you're going to really slow down the growth of your business consulting firm. So maybe only work with 1 or 2 key clients, or only 5 hours a week or 10 hours a week at most with clients, so you can work on the business more. And the last tip is that if you want to raise your consulting rates, which most business consultants do, then try to have more transparency of how far along your projects are going, more transparency on how you came up with your rate, more proof of the great work that you've done in the past, more quotes, audio quotes, video quotes, more trust in how great your marketing looks and how experienced your team is, and then more efficiency in how quickly you get projects done and the processes and models and tools that you leave your clients with, so your projects are not only efficient, but their ongoing work after you leave is very efficient as well. That'll give them a higher ROI, and then you can justify a much higher rate when you're doing consulting. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Again, they were to charge for travel, consider charging various rates, figure out what rates you're going to pay to your own team, what percentage. Remember that the principal should work on the biz more than in the biz, And then also remember that the more transparency, proof, trust, and efficiency means the higher rates you can charge your clients. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is businesstraining.com, where you can earn master's level qualifications to make more money.